in.
Hello. Happy podcast day, Falcon.
Thank you, Samacron. How are things?
Hot, sweaty.
Yes, it is summer in the Southern Hemisphere.
It is, yeah. Yeah.
Do you have central air conditioning?
Nope.
Hmm.
We have air conditioning up in the loft, and I have a fan in this room.
Gross.
Yeah.
Can you
It
get
does so much to offset the PC I have running for like 9 hours a day, and
I don't imagine it does.
No, absolutely nothing.
Can you put an air conditioning unit like in a window? Is that an option?
Yeah, there are like portable ones I could get. I would have to like talk
Yeah.
to the landlord of the real estate about installing a proper window rattler or whatever. But like, I could get a portable one, sure.
Okay. Just, I don't know, just options, I guess.
Yeah, I'm thinking about just moving the fridge in here and leaving the doors open. So.
I mean, I'm no mechanical engineer, but I feel like that would be probably less efficient than just getting a portable air conditioner, but maybe
Right.
cheaper, I guess.
But I've already got a fridge.
Right, exactly. You wouldn't have to buy something new.
What could
I
go
wonder
wrong
how
with this
efficient
lead?
that would be.
Oh, poorly. That would be quite poor. It beeps.
Pretty
I'd have to
terrible.
listen to it going beep, 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 doors open, beep, beep, beep.
Oh,
all day
yeah,
long.
good point. You could probably disable that.
Probably. I have a hammer.
Just muck about in the guts. Just hit stuff until it stops.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the mechanical side of us right there. Anyway, cool, hot. Yep, it's yeah, it was like a nice 55 degrees in the afternoon here today, so
Sounds lovely.
it was very nice. Yes, the sun was out. It rained yesterday, so it cleared out all of the pollution in the valley. It was a very nice afternoon.
It sounds lovely.
Quite.
It's been like raining on and off because it gets real hot, water evaporates, comes in from the sea or whatever, and you get storms, right? I was driving home from IKEA and like a huge thunderstorm hit, and I'm like, I was at work earlier today in the break room and I saw something on the TV. What was that? What? Oh, right, it was a tornado warning for Sydney.
Yo.
That's wild. And so
Did they
I'm
call it a
sitting.
cyclone? Wait. Did they call it a tornado down there?
I think they called it a tornado.
They
Could have
did.
been a
Okay.
cyclone. I don't.
I
There's
just
a difference.
Yeah, right. I don't necessarily do either, but I think some places call tornadoes cyclones. I don't know. Whatever. Okay,
I don't
so tornado. Got it.
Yeah, but we're sitting in the car and we're like at this red, and we can just see off in the like not too distant, right? Like basically on top of us, this thing that looks like a big spinny thing in the clouds, right? And we're like, oh, the storm is coming, and then about 40 seconds later, it was bucketing down,
Yeah.
and trees were coming down, and we were driving home, and a tree had like crushed a car with like people in it, and
Whoa.
yeah, and there was like
What?
traffic backed way up, and what you were about to say something?
Do you categorize the strength of your tornadoes?
Yeah, I don't
imagine
think it
you
was a
do.
tornado. It was just like we could see the storm. Like I don't know if it was like it wasn't the eye of the storm because obviously it was still raining in there, but it just had a circular front to it. That's all. It wasn't a tornado.
Whoa. Okay, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, how often does that happen?
Often enough that I wasn't like, wow, a big storm. That's unique. It
Right.
was like, oh, it's storming. Okay.
Okay. So yeah, not crazy, but still, the people in the car survive. Are they okay?
Well, when we drove by, there was nobody still in it. So
Okay, so good sign.
yeah, the tree was still blocking that side of the road, and absolutely no one was getting through.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Exciting. Goodness.
Oh, terribly exciting. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you survived the incredible, huge, massive storm of December 2023.
Me too.
Yeah. This podcast would be very different without Omicron here, that's for sure.
I would imagine it's terribly different. Yeah.
Yo.
There's a
So,
photo.
StarCraft.
I sent you a photo.
Oh. Dun, 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 dun. Ooh, yeah, that's awesome. What a great photo.
Mm,
Yeah, man. Looks like the end of the world. Yo.
yep. Actually, I have a video of it, but we didn't pause the music we were listening to. So there's Randy Feltface and Sammy J singing about something in one of their comedy music albums in the
Oh,
video.
yeah.
Uh,
That's perfect. That's a perfect background. I like that.
yeah. Well. Anyway, StarCraft. Happy news. Home Story Cup 24 was just yesterday.
Yeah, did a thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you
I don't
watch
know.
any of that? I know you were streaming while the finals were going, so I'm assuming no, or at least not
Right.
a lot.
Nope. None of it at all. I do follow Rainer on Instagram,
Okay.
and he was like, I'm playing against Cyril, and I was like, big surprise. But I
Uh
didn't see what happened. That was it. That's all I know about Home Story Cup.
huh. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
So as you'd expect, Sarah Rayner and Clem in the finals.
Definitely.
Oh, and Skillis, he was there.
Oh, what's up, Skillis? Oh, he
Yeah,
took down Hero Marine, I see. Interesting.
yeah, and took a game off Clem, which was something. You know,
Yeah.
let's not sniff at that. Aligalak, I was checking the prediction for what's the chances of Skillis beating Clem, and it's like 4%. You know,
Oof. So
that's
he beat the odds. Good for him.
yeah. If you're looking at the Wikipedia page, you'll notice that Cyril v. Raynor's name is not in a red box.
Correct. Did he play
That is
random?
because he played Protoss and Zerg for different maps.
They let him do that? I guess it's Home Story Cup. They don't
Yeah,
really care.
it's on
Fair enough.
So the one game he won, he was playing as Protoss.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Protoss patch. Protoss patch. That's crazy. So yeah, I see that game one even. He beat him as
Yeah.
Protoss. And then he went back to Zerg, lost twice in a row. Then swapped back to Protoss and lost again. Bummer.
Yeah.
Huh.
So I mean, it was interesting to see them let him do that.
What did he do with Protoss?
Oh, he went just for late game carriers, motherships, Archons, and Immortals.
High Templar, Immortal.
Yeah.
Yep. The classic combination. Did he get there, or was Cyril like, no?
In the game he won, yeah. I don't remember the game he lost. I think he was like going for it, but Cyril just kind of got to him first, I think. I was watching these games on and off.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, good.
I'll also say that Cyril v. Clem in the finals, by the time they were getting to the game, it was about 1:30 in the morning in Crefeld. So both players agreed to a best of 5 rather than the best of 7.
And then it was 3-1 anyway, so it's basically a best of 7. I mean, what's one more game for Cyril to win? I suppose.
You know, who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, but
Cyril's a monster.
Yep.
That's the lesson, as usual. Yep. How many Home Story Cups has he won? Like all of them? Seriously.
That is an interesting thing to look at. Let's see. Who won what? So Cyril won this one. Raynor won the 2 before that. Cyril won the 4 before that.
Good grief. Okay.
Then it was Inner, and then Zest 2 times in a row. Then Patience, Hostum, MMA, Rain, Parting, Tasia 3 times in a row. But we're going back to like 2013 at this point.
Yeah, if we're going back to Tasia, certainly been a while.
Snoot, Nurture, MC, Huck, White Ra, and a Muslim in that order.
Good names. Good names all. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a post about White Ra on the Reddit this week, which is his nephew died in defense of the Ukraine. Yeah,
sucks.
I shouldn't say the Ukraine. I think that's a kind of a
correct
oopsie term. It's just Ukraine, not the Ukraine. Yep.
It is. I'd really like, I don't know. I need someone to like tweet about how come we were under the impression it's the Ukraine.
Oh, because that's what it was referred to under the Soviet era, and then Putin and the like KGB and all that kind of like the Kremlin refer to it as the Ukraine to assert their authority that it's a part of Russia. It's not Ukraine as its own thing. It's the Ukraine, a region of Russia.
Oh, okay, that makes
Yeah.
sense. I mean,
So I know why it is. Unfortunately, that information has stuck it in my brain as the Ukraine.
totally backfired.
Yeah, it's not good.
That's pretty good. Amazing. All right. Well, there we go. Russia's fault. Makes sense.
Yeah, yep. Oh
100%.
man, there was 4 stay-at-home story cups. At Cyril won 2 of those as well,
Right.
and came second in the other 2.
So does he have 8 wins?
I would say
If you count
he
the
has
stay at?
7. He has 7.
7 wins.
If you count
Man.
the stay.
Yeah, I mean, it's by far more than anybody else.
Yes.
I was keeping track of the names there, so yeah. Yeah, he just owns it.
Yeah.
It's like Solar with the Freak of World events.
Freaka World has less participants than the average Home Story Cup, though. So, Solo plays in all of them, and they're all only 4 players in each of them. I think he's got a better chance of running away with more of them than someone else, where a Home Story Cup might have like 30 or 40 players.
Yeah, no, agreed. But Cyril won't play for us, so too bad for him.
Wow, you don't have the prize pool.
I guess not.
Or the 1:30 in the morning pizza that he was eating, or I think it was Clem was eating on stream. You know, like, oh, we're waiting for Clem v Cyril to start, and here's the camera, and it's just Cyril, Rainer, and Clem sitting in a room talking, and Clem's like eating pizza.
Where was this? Where was Home Story Cup?
Home Story Cup is in Krefeld, Germany, I think it is.
Okay, what the heck is German pizza like? Now I want to know.
Oh no, sorry, it was Hastem
Germany.
just eating a like. It looked like a cheese pizza, and I think they were alluding to Clem having a kebab.
Ah, yes, of course. Kebabs are delicious, generally.
Sure.
So, but Harston was in Germany.
Yeah, they were all in Germany. Like this was
yeah.
an offline event. Offline
Yeah.
as StarCraft 2 can be.
Got it. I'm looking through Google Images for German pizza, and it's like, all right, whatever.
I mean,
it's fine, I'm sure.
I'm sure it's fine. Like, the business hasn't shut because it's so awful. Either there's no competition or it's okay.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean,
this website says 5 top pizza places in Kaiserslautern are fine. What a headline. Anyway, cool. That's fun.
Yeah.
Got a delay because of pizza.
Well, like, players had to eat, you know.
I don't know. Definitely. I'm not, What the heck? Phone, I was not talking to you. Phone thinks I talked to it and said because of pizza.
Would you like to
I don't
order
know why.
a pizza?
No, it's not even. No, it's just like, here's what you said that I picked up. It doesn't make any sense, you weirdo. No, I was not talking to you, phone. Go away. Yes. Go entirely away. Anyway, what's going on? Oh, this is mildly interesting. So I took my kids to a wing place last night, chicken wings.
Okay.
And on the table, they had a QR code like glued to it. So you could scan the QR code. It would bring up a thing on your phone where you could order using your phone.
Yep.
And pay using your phone.
Yeah.
And like a waitress came by and she was like, and I was like, yep. It was weird, man. You have those, I assume.
Oh, for years. Yeah. Like pre-COVID, I've seen those.
On the table, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because that's like, I imagine they just like, it's laminated, like, I assume.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. It's just like each one is unique, so they know which table you're ordering at.
Right.
So it has to be on the table.
Yeah. No, makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just never seen it. I've seen QR code menus where it's like, go to this QR code and here's our menu, and then talk to the waitress when she comes by, or waiter.
I think I've also seen ones that are like, here's a QR code for the menu, and then please just tell it your table number, and each table has a little plaque or something on it that just says, this is table 24.
This is the first time I could totally do everything without talking to anyone, which is like, introverts unite. Like, that's
I
Amazing.
mean, you could have ordered wings delivered and not talked to anyone. you
That's
didn't have to go out if you wanted to be a real
wow.
introvert
But
about
then
it.
it's more. I mean, deliveries. It adds like 40% to the freaking thing. I hate delivered food.
Tips do that anyway.
Sucks. But if you don't actually talk to a waitress, do you have to tip?
Did the online checkout payment suggest a tip?
Yes,
Okay, so they still want you to tip.
they sure do.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, the
But a
waitress brought your
tip's like
food out, didn't?
20%, not 40%. Good
Well,
grief.
I don't know. We don't do it.
You don't do maths.
So, like, I assume a human still brought your food out to the table, though, right?
Yeah, but apparently, I mean,
You don't
they
feel
didn't
like
say
tipping for that
anything to us.
service?
They're like, "Here's your food, funk."
And
And that
what
was,
do
I
they do
don't know.
normally?
How much do you
What
tip
would
for
you?
somebody walking to the kitchen, picking up a plate, and bringing it to you?
Nothing,
It took
because they
4
should be paid a
seconds.
proper wage, but they're not.
Well, that's because tips get them way more money than they would with a minimum wage. So
In
they're okay with
theory.
that. It
Yeah.
does.
Oh,
I've
okay. So
never
they
talked
get
to
way more.
anybody who works at a restaurant and says, I only get $2 an hour. That's what I take home. That's fucking stupid. Nobody
Okay.
does that. Nobody would do that.
Except you won't tip them because they didn't do anything apparently.
I
So
did.
that person didn't earn any tips. They got their $2 an hour.
They're
You're the
not.
problem you're complaining about.
No, but they're not. I don't. That's a great question. Are they under? I don't know if they work for tips and they get the. I don't know how the tips work at this place. Do they share the tips?
I don't know. If
There's different systems, right?
there is.
Sometimes everyone's tips are individually tracked,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes it just goes into a pot. Everyone who got a tip throws it in a pool, and then you split it up evenly among all the
Mm-hmm.
waiters and waitresses and servers.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering if the people who just simply bring the food out but don't take orders or anything like that, are they included in the tipping system or are they outside? Like the chefs, for example, just get paid a flat, whatever, a salary or a per hour rate.
Right.
So I'm wondering if they're just part of the kitchen. I wonder if they just get paid. I'll have to find out
I don't know.
because if
Go
that's
back
the
there and
case,
see if you can get the same person to actually take your order.
like the
Because
person that brings the food out,
yeah, see if that person was just,
how?
I don't know, sit there and wait for a waitress. You said this person was a waitress. Like, see
No,
if so.
a waitress came by as well.
Oh, but it was someone else.
Yeah, she like had the tablet, right? It used to be a notepad. It's a tablet now. And I saw her at other tables like taking orders and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So she came by us and she was like, I don't know. I don't know if she knew we'd already ordered or not. I don't know if the system was working. But
I
she was
also,
like, have you guys ordered? We're like, yes. And she effed right off. She was like, okay, bye. And then somebody else brought our food and like that was it. Brought the food, dumped it, left. What's up, bovine slime?
I
So I
mean,
didn't see that person taking any orders from anybody else either.
okay. Well, I would also just
Yeah.
be dubious about any electronic tipping system that, like, oh, management has gone out and sourced this online ordering system. Guess who that tips are going to? Not the
No, for
serving
sure.
staff.
Well, if you're getting fucked over with tips, you don't work there. I've talked to so many people who are like, yeah, my boss tried to stiff me with tips. I quit. Like, they
Right.
can't do that
Right.
and
But
have a working staff.
I mean, unless they're still splitting all the cash tips that are on the other side of the business, that are people who still like, I don't know how to scan a QR code, Granny.
So they're
Right.
idiots who don't know about the online tipping system. They're just morons.
Or that there are waiters, not waiters, like the business is like, yeah, okay, everyone, we're going to recommend everyone tips 20% on our online ordering. And what we'll do is we'll report 15% when we split that amongst everyone else. We'll take a cut now instead of, right? Like if you
Yeah.
obfuscate where the money is and then, oh, we promise we'll just split it and pay you in cash later. I don't know. I just don't trust that.
It's fair. I mean, yeah, it would be easier for them to get away with just skimming off the top of a system than completely just taking it all because that's too obvious.
Right.
Yeah, that's fair. I'll go back and I'll talk to them and I'll be like, make sure your bosses aren't screwing you over. Talk amongst yourselves, figure out what the tips were, and then make sure it's fair.
What terrible homework you have this week. Go have wings
I know.
again.
Right? Anywho, yeah, I mean, I don't know. This is just to the original point. That's the first time I've seen you can go to a restaurant and order and pay without having to interact with someone coming to your table and talking to you. So we're
Right.
behind, I guess. That's super old news in Australia.
Yeah.
I guess you guys do hate people more than we do, so it makes sense.
I don't think we hate people.
Yeah?
Nobody's ever said that. Australians hate people.
Well, I don't know. Every country kind of has their own culture. Like Germans are more unfriendly than like I don't know, Brazilians or something, right?
Okay. I'm waiting for the sources on this.
No. Oh my
Who says
gosh.
Brazilians are friendly?
Friendliest
Well,
countries in the world. There are like 47 websites that talk about the most welcoming, friendliest
okay. Who
countries.
are the top 10?
South Africa, Vietnam,
Okay.
Colombia. That's interesting.
Mm.
Hungary, the Netherlands, Saudi Arabia, New Zealand. Oh,
Saudi
keeps
Arabia
going.
counts as the friendliest, or is this in reverse reverse
Yeah,
order?
right. Oh, wait. Was I reading it? Oh, I was reading it backwards.
Okay.
You are correct. It didn't have numbers when it just pulled it up on Google.
Mm.
That's weird, man. Okay, so let's go to the first ones.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
Who's the most friendly?
gosh. This website is set up like garbage. It's making me refresh for every one.
Oh, really? It's like
Yep.
every
Canada.
item on our list. Canada. Okay, that makes sense. They're nice
Canada,
people.
then Thailand.
Okay.
Australia.
Hey,
Number
told you.
3.
Fucking told you.
Philippines, Spain, Portugal, Mexico, Greece, Costa Rica, and the Dominican Republic.
Hmm.
I think this is just like friendly to tourists and like immigrants and stuff. Which makes
So
sense.
you're wondering why the US isn't on there?
No, not at all. Why would I?
You don't think the Americans are nice people? I know lots of nice Americans.
Well, it's just 300 million Americans, so sure, there are millions of really friendly Americans, and there are millions of total asshole Americans. There's
Sure,
just you got to
but
talk about trends and generalities.
right, but you don't interact with millions of people on a day-to-day basis. I would argue that in equivalently sized cities, we probably interact with the same amount of people on this day-to-day basis, or at least an equivalent amount, and we would have equivalent experiences.
Oh, interesting. I mean, I don't really interact with anyone on my
Right, no,
average
you're
day.
bragging about going to a restaurant and not having to talk to anyone, so I can see
Yes.
why we wouldn't talk to anyone, but I'm
Yeah.
very similar.
Right.
How many
What's
people live in Salt Lake City?
The original. Well, I mean,
200,000. Ooh, tiny.
okay, so that's the city proper, but then it
Uh-huh.
just sprawls out into the entire valley,
Mm-hmm.
just nonstop development. So we kind of just look at that.
Mm.
Salt Lake County.
Okay. Well, there are, 5.2 million people living in Sydney,
Uh-huh.
which is, I think, 20 times what your state is.
Oh, yeah. So 1.186 million people live in the Salt Lake County.
1.68 million, you said?
Uh-huh.
Oh, sorry.
The county, not the city.
No, sorry. I was looking at Utah, and
Yeah.
it totally says the entire population is 3 million, or 3.3
Correct.
or whatever. And then
Uh-huh.
for some reason, I looked at this other number, which was just Salt Lake City at 200,000. Right? I'm like,
Mhm.
Utah's got 200,000 people? It's fucking tiny. No.
I mean, it's not big, but it's not that small. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So
Anyway.
about, I don't know, a third of all the people in the state live within. How big is this? Within Salt Lake County, which is, I don't know, maybe 45 square miles. It's not that big.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho, yes. So what was the original point we're arguing here?
That since Australia has a smaller population, and because America's population is so big, that you could interact with millions of assholes in a day instead of the millions of nice people, because you have to make broad generalizations because the population is just too big to define as like equivalent to other countries. It was basically what you said, because you're like, America wouldn't be on this list because we have too many people.
No, it was you made the point that, plenty of nice Americans.
Right, which is
And then I said,
obviously
yeah,
facetious.
of course. It doesn't mean anything, but yes. Okay. Got it. Got it.
Right. I
Yep.
wouldn't stick around hanging out with all the shitheads Americans, if I had a choice about it, right? This is
It's true.
the social aspect of not getting good tips. I just wouldn't work with those people anymore.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Definitely not. Anyway, I don't know. What's the point here? I guess there's not really a point.
There is no point.
I found some technology that is super old.
It's not. It's not like caveman.
How old is it?
I don't know. 3-4 years at most.
That's
probably
ancient. This
No.
is the before times.
It's
the before times.
Is that the before times?
Yeah, before COVID is the before times.
I don't think that's what you described the before time as before.
It's basically the same thing, though. The divorce was finalized as COVID hit. So,
oh, really? Okay.
Yes. Oh, yeah. It was like my boss called me and said, "Don't come into work," and then a week later, the divorce was finalized.
Oh, okay.
Like right there.
Okay. Well, I'm. You probably know that I'm much less familiar about the dates of the paperwork, as I was not present for them.
Definitely.
But okay. So now that I know those two things are synonyms,
before
times. That. Before times. Okay. So I don't know. I think I hesitant to say that it's ancient technology because I feel like Australia is pretty behind on everything most of the time. So the fact that we're ahead, it means it can't be ancient.
It makes you uncomfortable. You're like, what?
Maybe we were running beta test versions for you guys. That's all.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe all the restaurant corporations were like, we gotta test our stuff in Australia. We can't just launch this in America.
There are lots of problems with the system. For instance, I think it was like 2020, right? So like right as COVID was hitting, I went for lunch with my sister because she lives in a pretty rurally kind of area. And we're at this restaurant and they've got the online ordering thing. And I ordered an iced coffee like I always do. And some of the options you could have to it, they obviously just were like, it's a drink, put it in the drink, give it the drinks options. So it's like extra ice, milk, sugar, 1 sugar, 2 sugar, sweetener. Would you like it served with marshmallows or extra hot? And I'm like, extra hot iced coffee? I don't think I want that.
Yeah, what? What? Okay.
So it's clearly like a very much a prefab kind of system where it's like, this is a drink, give it the drinks options. Nobody's really thought too hard about the menu items sometimes. It's like you can order the vegetarian meals and add steak to them if you want. Like it was a legitimate thing, probably.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can kind of be like, huh, okay. I mean, you sure you want to order a Caesar salad without like a vegetarian salad wrap or whatever, and then add chicken and bacon to it? You know?
Yeah.
You could just order the chicken Caesar salad wrap. You know.
We have those options exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird, man. Well,
so,
all right.
I was gonna watch Blue Eyes Samurai for you, and then you linked me to this YouTuber called H Bomber Guy, and I've watched about 12 hours of that since.
Holy crap! Seriously?
Which isn't hard. That's like 3 videos.
I mean, some of them aren't 4 hours, but yeah.
That's good. Yeah, it's more like 5. You know.
Yeah. No, he's good. I like him.
So if you had told me that he was maybe a more serious folding ideas, right? Because that's what Dan Olson with the guy who did the stuff about Bitcoin and all that you were upset about. Yeah, same kind of video essays, just maybe a little more serious. He's obviously still makes jokes and stuff, but he's like tackling vaccines instead of people who are using ghostwriters to make shitty audiobooks, you know?
Yeah.
So I watched the most recent video, and Dan Olson, the guy from Folding Ideas, actually has a Twitter thread about this James Somerton guy that most of the video is about.
It is a like 2-hour plus takedown of Somerton in a way that I'm not sure I've ever seen before on YouTube. So yeah.
I mean, I feel like there have been responses and stuff videos like this about people, but
Yeah.
2 hours.
But the receipts, Omicron, the receipts.
Yeah. Huh?
That's what makes H Bomber Guy different, is that he will research the ever-loving crap out of the thing and then sit there and just show you thing after thing after thing after thing of what he found. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's interesting. you know.
Yeah.
If people don't know what we're talking about, why don't you summarize the video, like contextualize it around this James Summerton guy?
Yeah. So the video is just about plagiarism as it exists on YouTube video essayists.
Mm-hmm.
He goes over a few examples of, for example, the angry video game nerd is caught up in this. The internet historian has actually gotten busted for this.
Mm-hmm.
Another YouTuber that I've actually seen before, the Pyramid Head lady. What is her channel called?
Illuminati.
Yeah, Illuminati. Yes, she's an example. But just the general concept is that there's a lot of this outright plagiarism going on YouTube. A lot of people are making a lot of money off of it
Mm-hmm.
just by directly reading from books or articles or sometimes Wikipedia summaries
Right.
and getting millions and millions of subs and bringing in tens of thousands of dollars, and who knows how much they're getting paid for this, and they're just plagiarizing.
Yeah. I saw someone on Twitter being like, James Summerton probably made $180,000 in a year using my work that I made $700 off. I'm like, that's
Yeah.
yeah.
And a couple of the trend, one of the trends that he kind of highlights in this 4-hour video is bigger YouTube channels totally ripping off smaller ones. Like taking an idea from someone who had a great idea and great execution, but only got, 5,000-10,000 views off of it, completely stealing the whole concept, even stealing the thumbnail in some examples and getting, 2 million views off of it just because they're bigger, right?
Right.
And totally benefiting from this idea from this poor dude who's just, trying to get off the ground here. So, yeah, just asshole behavior in a lot of ways. And I mean, one of the things with James Summerton is that he puts out these videos pretty frequently for this type of channel. And a lot of people are like, how does he do it so fast? And it's like, because he's not doing any research or writing.
Because he's not doing it. That's the point.
Right. He literally sits in front of a camera, has a script that he has copy pasted from wherever, and he's just reading it.
Yeah.
Making minor alterations, changing an adjective here, changing a verb here.
It is without a doubt my favorite part of the entire video, where he explains that James Summerton in his script basically finds the word gay and replaces it with LGBTQ or the word queer, and has done that when he's actually citing his source as a quote. Like, I am quoting this guy when he said this, and has still changed that quote because he just does it to everything.
Just to find and replace.
Yeah.
With no context, no granularity at all. It's incredibly stupid.
Yeah.
My favorite one was he copied an it's an article or it's another YouTuber about, oh my gosh, it's about a character from a TV show who ends up making a living as a stand-up comic, stealing other people's jokes. Yeah. But Summerton removed the stealing other people's jokes from it. H Bomber's guy probably hit a little bit too close to home.
That was good, yeah.
So it gets, kind of towards the end of the thing, after he's listed 47 different ways that James Summerton has completely plagiarized other people in books and videos and everything. And he's like, let's play a game. Let's take a random line from one of Summerton's videos and put it into Google and find out where he stole it from.
Yeah.
Because every single time you grab a line, you toss it into Google. It's like, here's this article from 2012. Right? Here's this book online from someone. Here's, it's insane how much of it is just straight up plagiarized. Yeah.
It's wild.
So it totally sucks. He does also go into like what is not plagiarism, which I thought was nice. He doesn't spend the whole time just being negative about it. With the internet historian example, it turns out that the cave video, which is excellent, like one of the best things that the internet historian has done, If he had just gone to the Mental Floss writer, the Mental Floss website, and said, "I'd like, to adapt your article for YouTube and add some
Mhm.
fun visuals to it and some really amazing editing and stuff, and I'll credit you, I'll put you in the title, I'll link to your thing."
Mhm.
Just done that, it would have been fine.
Mhm.
But the fact
Probably.
that he totally didn't do it anywhere at all, that's where this problem comes in.
So the internet historian also happened to put out a new video today,
Yeah,
yesterday.
about wine. I saw it come up. I didn't watch it yet.
I have not watched it, and I don't intend to.
Mm.
Just because it turns out when you might be plagiarizing all of your material, it erodes trust in a serious way.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
it's got 1.6 million views in a day and has 15,000 comments. What do you think the comments are about?
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
so I had screenshotted one, but I didn't save it because I meant to. Like I have a private Discord like thread or whatever where when I see something and I want to talk about it on the podcast, I'll just paste it in there as like a screenshot or whatever. I
Yeah.
did that and I didn't save it. So,
Oh.
but I had a comment that was just like some guy being like, "Oh man, H Bomber guy's really got his fans out here attacking internet historian over stealing off a corpo. Can you believe it? God, the ass kissing these people are doing. It's like,
Oh,
stealing from a
but
corporation doesn't make it okay."
it doesn't. But that's like pretty far leftist thought, right? Is that
Uh,
stealing from corporations is fine. So maybe
yeah,
that
it's
dude sincerely believes that. Maybe he's not just.
defending internet
Here's the
historian.
thing. If that was an idea that he didn't agree with until today, then yes, that's wrong. And don't do that, stupid. Don't bring other
Right.
ideologies into defense of the thing that you want to defend.
Right. I
But if
mean,
he's been
here's the thing.
consistent about this for a while, then all right, I'm kind of okay with
Maybe,
it.
but like the video also goes into a lot of depth about how stealing an intellectual piece of work fundamentally undermines any potential respect you have for the medium. Because like you're a business
Mm,
person, you don't respect the actual process of creative works, which is why you think it's okay to steal.
hmm
Stealing an article about Man in Cave and making the video out of it is not the same as I stole some food from Walmart, you know?
Right.
That's
Or
two
stole
totally
some
different.
food from my roommate. Different thing.
Totally different. Yeah. Uh,
Yeah. But I mean, I just think ideologically, if you went to someone who believed that you like stealing something from Walmart is fine and said, "What do
mhm.
you think about plagiarizing from Walmart's website? Is that okay?" They'd probably say, "Yeah, that's fine too." Like we don't give a shit about Walmart, right?
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. I find that defense interesting.
Mhm.
I imagine more of the defense was just along the lines of like, "So what?" You know what I mean? Like just saying, like, who's ever heard of mental floss before? Screw those guys.
Right.
Which is that's a lot of the attitude. That is the implicit attitude of these people that are doing this. Summertone especially is that, "Well, I don't care about these smaller people. What they've done, I don't respect them enough to
Mhm.
credit them in any way. And if I get busted, somebody says you stole my stuff, I'll offer to put a link to their website in the description of my video and
Mm.
hope that placates them." And it's like, yeah, that's going to turn into a ton of traffic. Yes, buried under 47 other things that you're promoting, right?
Right.
Anyway.
Here's a comment 40 minutes ago. All the seething leftists in the comments falling for a H-bomber hit piece, laughing my ass off.
Oh yeah, that's more what I was expecting.
Friendly reminder that he gathered money for a pedo charity, which I don't know what that's about.
Yeah, was gotta look that up now. Dang it. Well, that's gonna be hard to Google because H Bomber Guy does charity stuff.
Here's what it's gonna be about. It's gonna be like gathering money for um the Trevor Foundation is what I think it's called.
Okay,
And
I don't know what
I
that
think
is.
that's a like a trans youth help service or hotline or whatever. And some right wing is going to be like helping trans kids. That's what pedos do.
Ah, okay. So it's
Uh,
just it's a
that
trans thing. That makes
that
sense.
that I'm gonna totally take a guess on that. No sources to cite. I am making this theory up. That is
Oh,
what I suspect, but yeah, that it'll be
I
something
found it.
like that. Oh, you
I
found it?
found it.
I
Yep.
couldn't. I couldn't find anything on Google. So what is it?
H Bomber Guy raises $340,000 for trans youth during Donkey Kong Twitch stream.
Hey, look at me.
Uh, is there any? Oh my gosh, this web. Why do all websites suck ass these days? Okay, so this is a positive story about it, but this
Okay.
has to be what that post is talking about.
Right.
Websites are all garbage. I hate them. Anyway, so that's it. Yeah, and he does make a couple references to Internet Historian's fan base.
Mm-hmm.
Just the type of person, just the type of fan that he has gathered. Yeah, it makes sense that that's where that's going to come from.
Yeah.
Anywho,
what is a dent head? Is it just
dent?
like so? There's a comment here that is Twitter dent heads say something, and then also Twitter dent heads say something, but every second letter is capitalized. You know, that kind of
the mocking font. Yeah.
So I assume a dent head is just like someone who's stupid because they've been hit in the head and they've got a dent in it now.
Sure. I'm Googling this and nothing's coming up, so that's gotta be it.
Okay. It's perfectly fine for hypocrite communists to restream someone else's video while he's off eating lunch in another room. Also,
Ooh.
Twitter dent heads, how dare you animate an article?
Right. I mean, that H Bomber Guy did touch on reaction content. I don't think he's a fan of that either.
Yeah.
So I think H Bomber Guy would probably agree with that dude. That like, yes, those assholes who sit on Twitch and just watch other people's videos. Like,
yeah.
I do hate that. That is a personal pet peeve of mine.
Right. I mean, at most charitable, you can say it's free advertising, but I don't think there's an awful lot of click through going on. But
no, why? The whole thing's here. Why would you go watch it somewhere else?
Because not because you would go watch it, but you would go seek similar made things. Like if you
could,
if you saw the Internet Historian video and it was like, I kind of like that, I'm gonna go look for his other work. I can see that happening, but that is a very charitable interpretation of the events of restreaming shit, you know?
Yeah.
And reacting to it.
Well, and it's funny too. Well, I don't know, and it's a fuzzy line. I'm kind of okay with people who are adding informed commentary to the thing that they're watching.
Yeah.
Like they have some of their own insight and experience that they can add to it.
There is definitely a right way to react to things.
Yeah.
We have done, for people who want to go over to patreon.com/Omicron, we do no, it's not quite reactions, but we do like live commentary along with movies sometimes as for bonus pieces. And that is us talking about the movie. It's very like Master Pancake Theater, MST3K, that kind of stuff. Inspired like that. It is part comment, part our thoughts, you know?
Yeah.
But you know you don't get there? The movie. You get an audio file that you have to sync up with the movie. So you source that in legitimate ways.
Yeah, you know, exactly.
But it's the same kind of content when it boils down to it, you know?
Yeah. And yes. And honestly, the people that do reaction content constantly don't do that. They really don't. Like there's a lot of just like open mouth staring at the thing and going, cool. Wow. I didn't know that. And it's like, why are people watching this? That's what I don't get. I can't even be mad. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Like, who are these people that are like, this is how I'd like to absorb my content, is by watching this random dude stare at the thing I'm staring at and say stuff like, wow, what the hell? I don't get it.
Maybe that's how some people like to enjoy their content, by getting James Summerton to read it to them.
Well, that at least is more effort. What Summerton was doing is more effort than a lot of reaction content creators.
Right.
A lot more. But what's funny about the internet historian right-wing dudes coming after H Bomber Guy and accusing him of being a leftist is that I don't think he is. I don't think H Bomber Guy would put himself in either of those boxes.
Mm,
Like he's definitely further to the left,
right.
but he's also totally willing to take down Somerton, who is a major voice in the gay YouTube community.
Right. I think there's a
And
level of reasonable people who don't necessarily would self-align as left or right because they understand that it's a big like tug of war rope intended to get people distracted by being like those people left, those people right. And
yeah,
he's far more interested in just like the actual meat of whatever someone is doing, you know?
yeah, it's just
Um,
what the thing is.
I
Yeah,
mean, like, I don't think I would say he's probably pretty left leaning in his personal life, but I don't think being left leaning means you shouldn't attack plagiarists who are also openly gay, you know?
right. But it would have been really easy to make that video just of people who are on the other side of the political spectrum, right?
What do you mean?
Just do internet
Oh,
historian, right?
just do internet historian. Okay,
Yeah, or
well,
just
yeah.
do other YouTubers who are more on that,
Right, but you could, but I think it really sticks with him because James Summerton was openly gay about it, right?
right.
Like
Yep.
in theory he is like the entire video ends with like a comment on gay erasure in media, right?
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
very good because James Summerton is the problem there, and I think that probably hits closer to home, which is why the video then becomes about him,
Mm-hmm.
because it is, you know.
Yep. 100%.
Um,
100,000,000%. But yeah, I am sure there are similar videos out there of right-wing people only highlighting left-wingers who are doing this
I could believe
and
that.
vice versa.
Versa, I could believe that
Certainly.
too. Totally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. But anyway, so Somerton has deleted his Patreon. He's deleted his Twitter. He's disabled every comment on his entire YouTube channel and deleted them all.
He hasn't deleted the videos though because he wants that sweet
No.
ad revenue.
Right. But that's one of the things he has done in the past is when it gets called out for plagiarism, he'll delete the video and then re-upload it with the like 3 minutes that this one person's complaining about removed.
Right.
Like
But
did you see the where he took the dude's video about like Merlin and Sherlock and have you gotten to that point?
yeah, I finished the video.
Yeah. So there's the part where there's a YouTuber who's trying to highlight what is it called? It's gay teasing. It's taking two characters in a TV show and kind of hinting that they're gay, but never doing anything with it.
Right. Like,
What's it called?
ship baiting.
Yeah, something like that. Anywho, there's a whole video about that. It talks about Sherlock and Merlin and something else. But anyway, so yeah, I don't know, it's 3 different videos that he put together. Anywho, he got busted by the dude who did the Merlin content.
Right.
And then he deletes the video, re-uploads it without the Merlin content, but then later in the same video that he's uploaded, he refers back to the Merlin content that's no longer there because he didn't re-comment anything. He just chunked that out and left everything else. It's just the laziest.
I mean, I think that is remarkably telling. On like, obviously, this entire expose is telling because we've been told. But like the idea that you could go into your video, remove a section of what is essentially your arguments, and not know how that immediately will implicate other sections of your argument,
right,
is really telling because none of it's his argument, right? He doesn't understand the material.
No, he doesn't. That's a huge point H Bomber Guy makes, is that he doesn't. Maybe there are certain topics he cares about more than others, but there are certainly videos he puts out where he does not give a rat's ass about the thing he's talking about. He is just reading from someone else's stuff for 20 minutes and then he's done and he never thinks about it again.
Yeah.
Which is astounding to me.
Yeah.
YouTube's just a content mill for him. It's just, what do I need to do to get paid? What's the bare minimum I can do?
Yeah.
Done. Yeah.
So there is the interesting thing that like he's left videos up but as unlisted, which means if you search for them, you won't find them. But if you know where a link is, you can still use that link to go and find the video.
Yep.
And H Bomber Guy retweeted this Folding Ideas Dan Olsen Twitter thread that I was talking about earlier.
Mhm.
And in it, most of what he's talking about is based off this one, like, it comes off like a shitty apology video. I will send you a link to this thread, by the way.
Okay.
But basically, James Summerson also has been telling people in like his Discord and on his streams and all his viewers that, like, oh, this month in April we saw the lowest Patreon turnout ever, and we're having to have conversations about whether or not we'll still be able to make videos, right? Like, he has been just teasing them that, like, they're not making enough money, right? That this might not be viable to get them to, like, back them on Patreon or to use the sponsorships and stuff.
And then he says,
And
at the time, he was bringing in $8,000 a month.
8,000 Canadian. Right? And he's
Okay.
Dan Olsen, because he's a filmmaker, like a proper filmmaker, has gone through his videos and been like, I see that camera you've got there in the background there. That's a $4,000 camera. But you don't put like your best camera in the background. You put it in your second best camera in the background. So what's the camera that you're actually filming on? Because you don't ever actually use any like 2-camera shots or anything like that, right? He doesn't film from 2 angles at once. So he's basically just being like, oh, here he is saying his videos are getting demonetized, saying, like, telling people that, oh, you need to go and support me on Patreon because I've got the lowest turnout and I don't know if I'll be able to make these videos. And then there he is just, like, spending a bunch of money on cameras he doesn't need.
You know? Right. Because obviously he is misrepresenting a bit of his financial situation. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, this thread's nuts. I'm just reading through it. There are so many things.
Uh-huh.
This is a good one. He thinks that sex work should be legal and subsidized as a mental health service. That's a good one.
That's
He's like, it would fix the incel problem. And it's like, I don't think it would. But all right, man. That's a take.
That is a take.
Oh, yeah. We got the lowest Patreon payout we've gotten in well over a year. Like, maybe we need to rethink things kind of amount. Dude, what a whiner. Incredible.
Especially when you realize his cost to research videos is negligible.
It's Google thing, find thing, read thing. Oh, the whole part about how he started a film company?
Oh, right. Tell us.
That was incredibly interesting.
So he's like, how can I make a year's salary in a day? I'll tell people I want to make a film studio.
Well, if he's making $8,000 a month, that's a little bit more than his crowdfund.
The crowdfunder was like $80,000 just on its own, right? Like, that's how much it made in crowdfunders usually have like a 30-day investment period or whatever.
Right.
So he made a year's worth of regular people money, maybe a little more than regular people in a lot of cases.
Certainly, yeah.
In a month, and just was like, yeah, we don't actually have to give you anything.
Well, it's, I mean, H Bomber Guy does give some allowances for it. It takes a long time to make a movie, even an indie movie. So it's mildly possible that, yes, something is in the works and we will get something at some point, but the track record right now is really bad.
Right.
Like one of the initial movies that he promised to make is just like gone. Like, we're not doing that anymore. And then the replacement for that is also gone. And it's like, And to say in March of 2022 that you are having trouble getting actors for your project, and then 9 months later saying we moved to Toronto and we're still trying to find people for our project is like, it's been 9 months. What are you doing? Yeah. And I mean, at this point, I would put money on it just being nothing is actually happening with that.
Right.
Which is incredible.
There was somebody who tweeted something that I really loved about. They made a really great point. Now I can't remember it. It's another thing I should have saved. But it is gone now. It's gone from my head.
Bummer.
Yeah. Sucks. Oh no, I remember what it was.
Okay.
So apparently James Thompson, his Patreon had been like upcoming content, Evangelion, right?
What?
He was gonna do
What does
stuff
that
about
mean?
like he was gonna do a video about queer characters in Evangelion.
Oh, okay. Got it. Yeah.
And in the Patreon it said like expected release date December, and then apparently it was also paired this with like so I was watching his stream 2 weeks ago. He admitted he hadn't even seen the show and didn't know how to watch it. Like he didn't know what order to
Yeah.
watch it in. And it's like start
Yeah.
at episode 1, go to episode 2, go to episode 3. That all makes sense for Evangelion, right? And it's like this video is supposed to be coming out in 2 weeks, and you're claiming that like I don't know.
No,
This shit's
there's
a
no
lot
way.
of work.
You do not have enough time to watch Evangelion and write scripts and shoot for it in 2 weeks. You don't.
No,
Period.
absolutely don't. No.
But what you do have time to do is find someone else's video about Evangelion and just rip it off.
Yeah.
Oh, that's incredible. Because yeah,
Wow.
watching the whole thing, and I mean, that alone is probably too much work.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like,
It's
there's
not something you sit down and do in a weekend.
right. Like, I don't know. I guess there's a book. There is some book about gay culture that Summerton is constantly stealing from, to the point that I wonder if he's read that whole thing. I bet he has. I bet he's read that whole book, but I'm not sure about anything else.
Do you think people who read and narrate audiobooks have really read the book? Right? Like, they didn't sit down to engage with the book, but they've definitely read the book, right?
Oh, I guess I was just thinking from the perspective of he needed to find the best stuff to steal. But if he doesn't care what that is, then opening to a random page and just going maybe seems like it works too.
Right.
I don't know. But there'd have to be some of that. You can't just be like, here is a book about a topic. Open, read. Like,
Right.
you have to have
yeah.
a little more structure than that, right?
You have to like find the relevant part at least.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So I guess you could skim to find relevant stuff you want to steal without really having to read it, but I don't know.
I guess I would say he's probably read it. I just don't think he's internalized anything that it says in it. You know, he hasn't
maybe
understood and cared about it.
Right.
Yeah.
His weird misogyny was interesting too.
Yeah.
I really like the part where he's like, straight women will take gay men and accessorize them, and then as soon as they're done with them, they throw them to the side. And H-Bomber guy's like, who did this to you? What happened?
Yeah,
incredible.
no,
What a rabbit hole, man.
Some people. Oof.
Yeah.
I also saw another funny tweet here from one at Josh Bushko. I'm pronouncing that right. It's pretty funny that the H-Bomber guy's last 3 targets have been a serial plagiarist that deserves to get run off the internet, a serial plagiarist who deserves to get run off the internet, and a dev team that made a 7 out of 10 Deus Ex game. Which, that is one of the videos I watched. And yeah, Deus Ex is a pretty good game. I haven't played the original Deus Ex, but Deus Ex Human Revolution, it's a 7 out of 10 game. It's a lot of fun. But I can see why he makes a lot of excellent points, and if you played the original, you'd be probably disappointed with this.
Yeah, it's got some problems. It's good. Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, it's so long. You get like maybe a video a year from because he does. He spends forever researching and writing and shooting and reshooting and rewriting and editing and until he's happy with it, and it takes forever. I mean, yeah. There's another dude who actually he heard about he's another YouTuber who found out about H-Bomber guy was working on this stuff like back in April and was like, "Oh, okay, so you're focusing on the plagiarism. I just want to focus on the outright lies that Summerton has told his audience."
Yeah.
And he's like, "So I finished my stuff in August, and H-Bomber guy just asked me to hold it until he'd release his video." And he's like, "Okay, it'll probably be a couple weeks." And then it was December, and he was like, just been sitting on this completed video for like 6 months. It made me laugh.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it happens.
But
yeah,
there's just this whole realm of things that when Summertime's not stealing, he's making up historical facts out of whole cloth for no reason. Like, he claims that the gay porn industry invented Skype. That
Did I miss that in the video? Was that
nope.
in H Bomber Guy's video? Or was that the
No.
other guy's video? I
Yes.
haven't seen the other guy's video.
I know. I'll link. You can watch it later. But that's just one of the things
I'll watch it now.
where he makes the claim that gay porn studios came up with the first streaming software with the internet. And it's just, and then they were bought by Skype. And it's like, okay, neither of these points are true. Why are you saying this? It just makes no sense.
What was the lead into that sentence? Or do we pair this with the Family Guy meme of like, who the hell starts a sentence like that? Who starts a conversation like that?
It was just under the context of things that gay people are responsible for that have been erased. So it's just gay erasure, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, which he's doing a ton of and makes the whole discussion gross. Let's see, video history. This guy's name is Todd in the Shadows. So what's interesting is that he's a music YouTuber. Generally.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like he reviews albums and stuff.
Huh. Okay.
But I don't know. He heard that H Bomber Guy was doing this, and he was like, "Oh, interesting." Kind of got sucked in. Anyway, so yeah, Todd in the. So it's, I mean, it's one of the things that Todd says is like, my video is not nearly as good as H Bomber Guy's, and it's like, well, yeah, you probably didn't spend as much time on it, but he's like, one of the things is that Somerton will claim something, and then my job is to prove a negative, right? Like prove that this didn't happen, or prove that this person didn't say that.
Right.
And so that takes a lot of work to try to comb through. Like, he claims that Stan Lee, one of his favorite moments is the death of Gwen Stacy. And that one was easy because Stan Lee's been very public saying that he hates the death of Gwen Stacy, and that the Marvel did that when he was out of the country.
Oh, really?
Because they knew if he was around, he would throw his body in front of it. So what? I don't, just like, how is this how this works? Anyway.
Apparently you can just say shit online and people will believe you.
Exactly. Anywho, good stuff. What a video, man. H Bomber Guy, legend.
Yeah. So I have a random tangent before we can wrap up because we're a little over time. But so Summerton said that he basically said on the stream about Evangelion that he wasn't sure which order to watch it in, right? Like it was the Fate series or something where there's a bunch of, or it's like Star Wars where there's prequels,
Machete order,
right? There actually was an anime that came out just last season, I think, and I've been sitting here trying to wrap my head around trying to find out what it's called. And from what I understand, it's reasonably close to like the manga, like it's a faithful adaptation. But Peachside River Boy is what I think it's called, which is a weird name.
Yeah.
But they just took like it was all done. It was just going to be aired, and then the director was like, let's just mix up the episodes. Let's start with episode 5, and then go to 6, and then we'll do 2, and then 9, and then 12, and then 4, and then 1, and then so on and so forth. Like, he had this vision that it would make the final episode that aired like way better. It like would have this payoff, but just didn't. You know.
Wow.
So just add the season out of order, right? So if you ever watch that anime, you have to look up what is the proper episode order, and you have to go 4, then 9, and then 2, and then 1, and you have to go in that order, apparently.
That's incredible. That happened with Firefly, originally when it was airing in America.
Yeah, episode 3 got aired first or something.
Yep.
Not as the pilot, but it's not the pilot because there's an episode called Pilot, and it aired as episode 3 or whatever. Yeah.
Yep.
I remember that. Yep.
Yeah, Fox was like, this is the most exciting episode. We'd do that one first. And they're like, but there's like background and context and character development that happens before this, and they're like, screw that, it's a train robbery, let's go.
Right. I mean, at least it was only episode 3, right? Like,
yeah, but there's only
there's,
like 8 episodes. What I mean,
there's more than 8 episodes in Firefly.
the
Isn't
first
there?
season of Firefly,
The only season of Firefly.
right? There's 14. It could have been a
Yeah.
lot worse. Fair.
Could have been a lot worse.
Yeah. Anywho,
I mean, at least they didn't recommend someone start with the movie. They'd be totally confused for the entire thing. That'd probably ruin their Firefly experience. God.
somehow no, they did such a good job with the movie, man. It's great. I rewatched it last month, and I was like, this holds up. It's fantastic.
It's a good movie. I
I
enjoy
like
it.
this movie. It's good. All right. Gotta go see if the kids did their homework. So let's wrap this thing up.
Let's wrap it up.
All right. Yeah, that's going to be it from us. This has been Falcon, Paladin, and Omicron talking about, StarCraft and restaurant QR codes and plagiarism on YouTube. So good episode this week. Hope you enjoyed it. Yep. You can support the podcast directly at patreon.com/Somicron and by buying merch at falconpaladin.store. We do this thing live at twitch.tv/Somicron every week, and also the VODs end up on youtube.com/@Somicron. So check it out. We'll be here next week, same time. Until then, stay safe and stay healthy, and above all, take care of yourselves. Bye.
Bye.
See you later, bovine.